So what's the best way of starting a conversation? So I'm really bad at starting a conversation. So this is why I started podcasting, due to
Yeah.
which I can network with people.
I
So
yeah, that's the hard part, right? The hard
yeah,
part is like cold email. It's the same thing. Like you never know how to do it right,
yeah, yeah,
and even if you try, you will have those moments where people don't react. I know I've done the same, and I still have this. I reach out to people, and there is no response. It just happens because people are busy or they don't see it. Because Twitter DMs is the worst interface that you can imagine
yeah,
in terms of how to, like it's just really not easy or nice. And emails, I get so many emails, I just ignore some because I don't see them. It's not that I actively ignore it, I just don't see them. It's too much. So you will always have some sort of miss, and it's not everything is going to be a hit. But what I would recommend, and that's the easiest part because it also is not as complicated as doing like cold outreach, is to join people in an ongoing conversation. Let's say you wanted to talk to me or you want me on your podcast. So you would go to where I am, you would follow me, and you would look where I'm part of a conversation, where I'm chatting with people. And then you would look at, okay, which conversation is something that I could contribute something to. And then you would join the conversation. So that does two things. First off, you show that you actually want to be helpful within the community, which attracts more people to you, which is great. But it also shows to me that you're somebody who would really use how just helpful. You're part of this. Your name appears somewhere in my conversation, so my mind remembers you the next time you reach out to me. Do that a couple of times, and then your name sticks in my mind. I will likely follow you because everybody that I have a conversation with, eventually, if they make a good point, if no matter if it's with or against my opinion, I don't care. If they make a good point, I will follow them because it enriches my life. So if you just go to that conversation and participate, over time, I will likely build a relationship with you because I just value people who want to do the same with me. And I think that works for a lot of people, particularly for people who have a lot of followers. Like if you find people like Peter Levels, who has 100,000 followers, and he doesn't follow anybody. He has a couple lists and stuff. It's more complicated with him. But if you engage with him on a regular basis, it's very likely that you establish a dialogue, and then he might reach out, and then you have a conversation going in the DMs, and you can take that wherever you want to take it. You still want to be respectful, of course, but you can be more straightforward with what you would like if there is a meaningful equal exchange somewhere. So just show up where they already are. I call this, there's two things. One of the ways I do this is called audience audition, which is really nice for people who have a really small following at the moment. You essentially, you just put somebody on Twitter in your notifications whenever they post something. And then when they post something, you check it out and you look at where you could contribute, what you can actually put in there. And only when you have something meaningful to contribute, you reply to that tweet, which puts you in front of everybody who is in the audience of that particular person that you follow. So it's your audition in front of their audience. You show what you have to share, and then people might follow you back. That's the kind of, if you aim at their audience, if you want to get more followers. And then it's kind of a personal audition if you do the same to build a relationship with that person. But in both ways, you have to go where conversations are already happening. It doesn't help for you to just tweet something into the void. You will never have people react to this. So go to where people are already exchanging, and it's going to be much easier. And it's not cold. It's a warm conversation. You're just joining. It's like you walk up to people at a party who are already like 5 people in the group. Well, now you're number 6, right? It's not as bad as if you were to walk up to a single person standing there alone and you would have to strike a conversation. So it's much easier. And for the introverts, and I think I used to be one, it's different now because I'm just doing a lot of speaking, I guess. But I also have this problem. I have a hard time reaching out to people where I don't really know, like, how do I have to talk to them? What should I be using? Just go to where they're already chatting and you could just get into the flow, and then you're right in the middle of a conversation.